The May 24th deadly shooting at an elementary school in Uvalde, Texas, which killed 19 students and 2 teachers, have many wondering, how do we keep our schools safe? Before that tragedy, Oklahoma was already working on how to assess threats to schools, and now that plan is being put into place.
You can go in there and mitigate. You can bring them back down.
School districts throughout the state can take advantage of a program from the State Department of Education's Office of School Safety and Security. It's meant to help prevent possible mass shootings or other issues at our public schools.
It just lives in the hearts and minds of the educators that even though statistically being involved in a school incident like a school shooting is extremely rare, the damage is so high, in hearts and minds of teachers. When they see it somewhere, they're living it in their heart and their mind, because that's what they do.
The Office of School Safety and Security recently launched a micro-credentialing program which certifies teachers and school staff in school safety and security, as well as behavioral threat assessment and management.
Well, with this training comes an additional opportunity for micro-credentialing so that we can actually then have confidence that those who are implementing the program are doing it with fidelity in a way that is consistent across the state and that also meet those best practices.
State Superintendent of Public Instruction Joy Hoffmeister, who is also a member of the OETA board, says schools must be vigilant with security training.
Everyone needs to stay on top of keeping our schools safe and secure. So this is not something where you blanket the state in one fell swoop. This is about ongoing work, and we believe it has been an important step in keeping our students and those who serve in schools safer.
One of the school districts which already took advantage of the special training is Norman Public Schools.
The behavioral threat assessment training specifically, we were able to send a team out this spring, early summer, to attend that. We've been taking a look at that along with the State Department of Education for well over a year, and really believe that has some great training for staff.
Norman Public Schools Chief Operating Officer Justin Milner says the programs will now be implemented this upcoming school year.
Our goal is then to take that with our own leadership to be able to train our staff and really set up some great additional safety nets for our students. And so we'll be rolling that out at all of our secondary schools this school year.
Norman Public Schools Emergency Management Coordinator David Teicher was part of that first wave of graduates in the training program.
Then the behavioral threat assessment was really the icing on the cake for me, because that was really an area that I didn't know a whole lot about coming in. And it's such a great class that I'd recommend it to anyone as far as, how to help, get resources to kids, how to identify potential threats.
Hoffmeister believes the training will help students who are in need of mental health help while heading off a potential threat to the student.
Recognizing when there are changes in behavior, when there are changes in even mental health, so that students receive what they need where there are early signs of intervention that might be needed.
Why? Because if I can recognize it at the anxiety level, if I can recognize your anxiety, you may not ratchet up to some more squirrely things.
When Hoffmeister came up with the idea of the Office of School Safety and Security in 2018, the State Department of Education pursued federal grants to create this type of program, making it free to public schools around the state.
The agency got pretty aggressive with going after federal grants so that we could plug more resources out to the districts and schools.
Also available free to public schools, the Rave Panic Button app.
We already have something called the Rave Panic Button that 60% of our school districts are already incorporating and utilizing in their districts.
Representative Daniel Pay encourages school districts to use the free app. He's working with Representative Jacob Rosecrans and Senator John Michael Montgomery on an interim legislative study on school security to find what else lawmakers can do to keep schools safe.
We want to make sure we have all those perspectives, urban, rural, and suburban, incorporated into this interim study. We want to hear from the State Department of Education, from the Office of School Safety and Security. We want to hear from parents, just anyone who's very interested in this subject matter.
We have to have a good assessment before we create new policy. And I'm happy and excited that it's going to be bipartisan as well, because again, that's where I think that you get some of the best ideas.
Rosecrans was a teacher before he joined the legislature and hopes the current and future efforts can make Oklahoma schools more secure.
As a former teacher, I've always been very concerned that schools are indeed soft targets. Heck, when I was teaching, I was in a portable. And are you kidding me? The nightmare situations and the scenarios that went through my head every day were out there.
The interim study will be scheduled for later this year. In the meantime, the Office of School Safety and Security is ready to help train staff at the state's more than 500 public school districts.
We're there to provide resources, technical assistance, and we would like to work with every district in Oklahoma.